Guess what, guys? It's time to start the end of year content. Hello friends, I'm very excited. It is time to begin all of our end of year videos, like worst books of the year, best books of the year. Today we're doing my 2025 series review, which, spoiler alert, I don't think is going to be as interesting as some years previous, because I have not read a lot of series so far this year, but we're going to do it anyway for there's still some interesting things to talk about. Yeah, we've got so many reacting to my 2025 TBR. We've got so many end of year videos coming and we have to begin. It's time. It is time to get going.
It's almost time for Meg to serve.
Today we're going to be doing my 2025 series review, talking about series I finished, made progress in, series I wish I had started, all of the above, and I'm very excited to chat about it. But before we get into it, I need to chat to you about something else, so let me cut to other Megan. Obviously, if we are getting into end of year content, we're also getting into festive season, gifting season, and let me tell you, one of the best gifts that you could ask for at the end of this year is a Serious Light. I love my Serious Light so much. They're very kindly sponsoring this video. My gosh, is this Serious Light amazing? I have had this for a couple years now, and it's very exciting actually. They're bringing out a new range, which I want to kind of tell you guys about, but also just sing the praises of a Serious Light, because any Serious Light is outstanding. So obviously I do a lot of reading, particularly at this time of the year. Let me tell you, the reading is getting crazy out here, and obviously it's dark outside a lot, and reading is often tiny little words printed on a page. I used to get a lot of eye strain. I used to find it I used to really feel it in my eyes reading a lot, but since having a Serious Light, oh my goodness, the way that this light feels on the eyes is outstanding. If you do a lot of reading, this is like the best thing I think you could purchase, the best reading accessory you could ever get, because these lights have something called daylight wavelength technology that replicates the daylight spectrum as closely as possible. So what this means is it feels so natural in the eyes. I always say it feels like a breath of fresh air. Like, there's not that resistance. Your eyes aren't having to work as hard. They're not feeling that strain. Your eyes just feel so much better. Everything is so much more well lit. You can focus. I find I read a lot quicker when I'm using it. And I think, I've had mine for maybe 3 years now, maybe even longer, and it's such great quality. They're so sturdy, they're so well made. You can really tell that this is like a really high quality item. I love mine. I use it every time I read. Every single time I read, I'm using this light. And I have a very exciting offer for you. I have a code MEG, and that will get you £150 off. Guys, sit with that. £150 off a HD Pro or HD Essential light from Serious Readers. The lights also have a 5-year warranty, and at the moment for the HD Pro they have an extended 90-day risk-free trial, so you guys can try it out with no risk attached. Go check out link down below, use code MEG, £150 off. Again, this is the perfect thing to ask for this season, I think, as a reader, if you do a lot of reading. So yeah, make sure you check out the link in the description. I love this bad boy so dearly. Let's get into the rest of the video. Let's just dive in, shall we? Here's the thing. In previous years, a big goal of mine has been to finish series. I had too many currently reading series. A big goal was to finish series. This year, my goal wasn't to finish series. It was to make progress in series. I will let you know what my series goal this year was exactly. Let me tell you exactly what it was. It was to only have 10 series I've only read the first book of. At the start of the year, I had 22. So just keep that in mind as we get into this. That was my goal.
We were all so happy that day. It's actually hard to even imagine how terrible things would soon become.
But let's get into some of the stats. I don't know how many ongoing series I had at the start of the year. I didn't write it down because it wasn't my goal, which I'm annoyed. I will remember at the start of the next year to write down how many ongoing series I had. But I currently have 40. A profound silence has entered the chat. I currently have 40 currently reading series, which is a bit high. It's a bit high. Sorry about the lighting, by the way, guys. I can't... The sun is bright. It's a bright winter's day, and I can't pull whatever. You don't care. It's fine. Just deal with these bright lights. 40 is a bit high. 40 is a bit high. 40 is a bit higher. I can't remember what it has been in previous years. I feel like I got it down to kind of like 33 or something. Some of that has been like last year. I think there were series that I was up to date with. I don't, after you guys insisting that I do this, I don't count series I'm up to date with as ongoing series, because I've read all I can, I've finished them. And so I think there's quite a few series at the end of last year were in that bracket and now have entered the ongoing series. So I haven't started a lot, as we'll see. At the start of the year, as I said, I had 22 series where I had only read the first book in a series. Now I have 22 series that I've only read the first book in the series.
You have to give yourself permission to fail.
So I have not achieved my goal. I didn't pay enough attention to this goal this year. I have not read a ton from series this year, and a lot of what I've read has probably been from series that I love, like Lady Hardcastle, like series that I'm already like ongoing with, and so I haven't even gotten close to achieving this goal. I mean, I think I did 1 or 2 videos where I read second books in series and prioritized that, but there's a lot of series I have not made progress in this year that I should have done. I think I will probably have a similar goal next year. I look at my series spreadsheet, which we're going to get into in a second, and I want to read so many of these books. I want to make progress in these series, and also I don't want to let these series linger. So I think I'm going to have a similar goal next year, and we will see. We will see whether I get there. I think also TBR 200, I'm pointing back there at the TBR, I have, for almost every series I've only read the first book, I have the second book. So that would also support, there's 2 goals there that can mesh, and I need to get going on it. I only started this year, guys, 3 series.
Can't believe that. I actually can't believe that.
Read first book in the series and decided to continue it. 3. We're gonna look at previous years and compare. 3. Previous years, I was starting 20. So at the very least, I'm not starting a lot. I have become so much more discerning with the series I start. And that you might say, Megan, apply that logic to the series that you've got on your spreadsheet, and like books you only gave 3 stars to the first book, cut the series off the spreadsheet. But I fear once I've committed to something, I must at least try and stick it out. I can't do it. What I can do is in the moment decide I'm not going to continue that series. But if I've made a decision to continue that series, I need to at least try. I fear that's who I am. Yeah, that's who I am. And I only finished this year, guys. This is the one side of that. Only starting 3 is great. I finished 2. We're going to compare that to previous years, but let me tell you, it's dire. Dire. I only finished 2 series this year. That's crazy. I have, however, made progress in 10. I've made progress in 10 series, which I think is pretty typical for me. And in some of those, I've read multiple books. So making progress in 10 series I don't think is terrible, but when you have 40 ongoing, I feel like it should be a little bit better. Let me just quickly take you through the spreadsheet, my series spreadsheet. Let's just quickly have an overview while we're here. I don't know how much I've got to say because a lot of these have been here a while. Here she is, the series spreadsheet. I want to change the colours. I don't like these colours. These are just like the colour scheme it gives you. I need to like change it up, but that's a problem for another day. Stalking Jack the Ripper, I have not read a book in that since 2021. Oh no, when you say it like that.
I might exit this conversation
Why?
now.
No, I want to have it, Meredith.
Yeah, I'll see y'all later.
When you say it like that, 4 years, it's going to be 5 years. That's pretty bad. I need to finish that series. Where Are Children? You know, that's going to be ongoing forever as far as I'm concerned. I usually read one every year now, but I have not read Adrift Currents Clean and Clear this year, which is annoying. But I'll probably get to it early next year, one would think. This is a series I wish I'd finished. I read the second book last year, finally, and I enjoyed it, and I have both of these. Like, this should be something that I prioritize finishing. Lady Hardcastle, my girl, I've read 2 this year, which we're going to talk about. I've only got 1 left. Oh, let me underline that, which means I've got it. Oh, and Boldix, and I'm up to date with the series. For your reference, a book is underlined if I own it. A book is bolded if it means I finish the series or get up to date in it. And I don't know if we've got any italics, but a book is in italics if it's not out yet. That's my little system that I have here. I will probably get up to date with this very, very soon. I don't know how much longer I can wait before reading the Beast of Littleton Woods. I'm trying to make it last. And it's paining me. Oh, let me bold that. Bloody hell, I'm not keeping up here. Bold that. Really wish I'd made progress in this series this year, especially because this is a Christmassy book, but I'm not going to get to 7 Lively Suspects before the end of the year, so now I won't be making progress with that one until the end of next year, probably. I mean, I can read it out of time, but I do like reading Christmassy books around Christmas. I'm a big fan of a Christmas vibe. You can see here there's a lot where I've only read the first book. Like, some of these I need to prioritize. And look, I have most of them. I have Us Against You, I have The Woman of Troy, I have 10,000 Stitches, I have The Kind Worth Saving and The Talent for Murder. I have Death Comes to Marlowe, I have Mate. This series, I feel like I can't make progress in. I don't want to make progress in until I've read the original story. So I don't want to read Sense and Second Degree Murder until I read Sense and Sensibility. And to be honest, I'm not in a rush to read all my Austens, you know? Like, I don't want to rush it. I only get to read them for the first time once, and I love Janie, and I only have a few Janies. So this series is one that I think will probably take me quite a while to get to. This is terrifying. I don't know when I'll ever make progress on this. And then here are the 3 series I started this year. Hercule Poirot, obviously I have not started that series this year, but I break the series up into sets of 5 just to make it easier, because obviously there's like 40 books in that series. So just for the spreadsheet, I break them up into sets of 5. I've read 4 Poirots so far this year, guys. I read Murder on the Express, which I had already read, but I read it at the point in the series this year. I read 3 Act Tragedy, I read Death in the Clouds, and I read the ABC Murders, and I feel like this is a great stretch here, so I'm looking forward to reading them next year. I started the Not in Love series by Ali, Problematic Summer Romance. I started Veronica Speedwell, which is obviously a long series. I think this will kind of take the place of Lady Hardcastle for me once nothing can ever take the place of Lady Hardcastle for me, but once I'm caught up in that, I feel like this will kind of scratch that same itch. And I started the Spell Shop series by Sarah Beth Durst. I was discerning. I was very discerning. I think I've given up on updating DNF series. Yeah, there's been more than this so far this year, including, there's some, wait. I made progress in 12 series this year. 13! Amend the books. Amend the stats. I didn't come down here and check this. I made progress in 13 series this year. I just decided to DNF 3 of them with the progress I made. I didn't check this. Okay, I made progress in 13 series this year. Just want to get that out there.
I demand a recount.
These are my up-to-date series. I actually technically haven't read these 2 yet, but I'm going to be this week. So I'm counting them in all the stats because I'm going to be before the end of the year. I made progress in... Have I counted that one? Okay, hang on. 15! I've made progress in 15 series this year.
This is a reason to celebrate.
Do you know what? I feel okay then. I feel okay about it. Yes, I still have a lot of series where I've only read the first book. But I've made progress in 15 series this year. That's not bad. Okay, I feel like we can be happy with that. The series I completed were the Cerulean Chronicles, which, I mean, both of these series and The Part of Your World, they could decide to do more books in this world in the future. So are they finished? Who knows? Who knows? I'm counting them as so because there's no whispers of further books in these series. Final bits of stats. Like I said, we were going to compare it to previous years. If I go pull that blind over, is that becoming too distracting?
A few moments later.
Okay, I don't know how I feel about that because now I'm not very well lit, but I think we might just have to deal with it. Anyway, yeah, his previous years. As you can see, this year is by far, by a third, the least series I've ever started in a year. 2019, 11, 2020, 19, 2021, I started 20. Last year even, I started 9. This year, I have started 3. So yeah, at the very least, I am not... I'm not starting loads of new series. In terms of series finished, however, by far the least I've ever finished. Well, here's the thing. 2019, I finished 3. So we're kind of on par with that a little bit.
Hey,
Flop.
girl, you have done it again. Constant
Lowering
the bar for us all and doing it flawlessly.
But there is that 2022 when I really pushed. 2022 was the year I really pushed to finish series, and I finished 15. Well, how amazing would it be if I could get to that number again? 15. I only finished 2 this year. And in terms of the genres of the series that I'm still reading, these are all the series that are under my ongoing series. It is by far mystery series. There are 21 mystery series I'm currently reading. Then fantasy is the biggest chunk with 10, historical with 3, sci-fi with 3, romance with 2, horror with 2, and contemporary with 1. But yeah, that's surprising to me as well because that used to be so much more fantasy leaning, but it makes sense. I haven't started a lot of fantasy series because I'm not enjoying fantasy that much at the moment, and I love mystery. I love mystery. I'm a mystery girl. I'm a mystery girl to the end. So yes, it makes sense that now it is majority mystery. I love a good mystery series. What can I say? I fear I've been yapping too long about something that doesn't matter. Let's now quickly talk about the top 3 series books that I read so far this year. Well, actually, really, it's not a top 3 because I've snuck some others in. So let's just go through these quickly. A lot of these books are 5 stars, and you'll probably be hearing quite a bit about so at the end of this year. So let's not spend too long on this. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Great end to a story. In fact, this book, a lot of you'll know this is the one where it's like 2 characters, whoever they date goes on to find the love of their life, so they date to cancel it out, but they've both got like a lot of family stuff going on that's very interesting in this book. You know, some romance books, you're like, oh, it's a series, and it's just following someone's friend or whatever. This book really... Oh, the twists in this, really, the Abby Jimenez cinematic universe that this creates is outstanding. It's outstanding. It's not just another romance series where it's someone's friend. This has real implications. The twists in this mean something if you've read the other books. They really have a greater impact. Outstanding. Outstanding stuff. The ABC Murders by Agatha Christie was by far my favourite Poirot that I read this year. Well, other than Murder on the Orient Express, but that was a reread. My favourite new Poirot that I read this year. Just a great Poirot. Like, an outstanding Poirot. I think if you're looking for a Poirot to read and you're not crazy like me trying to read them in order, this is a great place to begin even, I would say. It really twists our expectations a lot, this book. This is a book where it's a murderer who's like murdering someone with the initials AA in a place with the initial A, and then so on with B and C and onwards. It really upends what we're thinking is going on multiple times, and also upends what we expect from a Poirot. Poirot's on form. Great one. The Spell Shop, by far my favourite series that I am starting so far this year. I adored this. I don't want to speak too much because I read it very recently and I will be mentioning it again before the end of the year, but just, oh my god, I just got Tom's mum to read this and I don't know if she's finished it yet, and I'm seeing her this weekend and I can't wait to see what she's thinking about it. This is a cozy fantasy set on an island. There's a talking spider plant. She's making jam, but it's set on this like beachy island. It's all about community and coming together and healing the world, and I loved it so much. Such a great series, and I can't wait to read more in this series. Like, this is going to be one of my go-to cozy fantasy series like Legends and Lattes. And then I just want to give a shout out. I can't find an Assassination on the Agenda, but I read a Friday exhibition, an Assassination on the Agenda by Lady Hardcastle. I feel the need not to include them in these lists because all I ever talk about is Lady Hardcastle. Lady Hardcastle and Flo solving murder mysteries. I am like 12 books in at this point or something. They can do no wrong. They can do every book is 10 out of 10. Like, it's so amazing. The series is so amazing. I love them, but I'm in so deep. And that's why I love them so much. That's all I have to say in that regard. Then let's talk about the top series that I want to finish next year. I just did all my books on my TBR video and I can't find anything because everything's moved. I come to know over the year where everything's places, and then I moved them all for that video. So I can't find A Psalm of Storms and Silence. This is the second book in the series. I read the first book in the series in 2021. It's a duology. I need to just finish it or DNF it. But I don't want to do that without at least giving it a go. I fear this might be a DNF because I don't really remember a lot about the first book. I read it so long ago. This is the problem with having this many series on your TBR. And I think it was like a 3.5. Like, when I look back to Middle Game, for example, which is on there, that I read in 2020, I feel like if I read Seasonal Fears, I'd be a lot more aware of what's happening because I gave Middle Game 5 stars and it was an amazing book. A Song of Wraith and Ruin is a bit forgettable for me. But I own the second book, so I need to give it a go. I need to give it a go and either read it or DNF it, and I need to get better with DNFing. You guys have been telling me to get better with DNFing. That's very hard for me, but I'm gonna try and DNF more next year, and maybe that will affect the series stuff as well. So I definitely want to get to that series. I definitely want to read the second books in both the Ali series I'm currently reading. I don't know if either of these series will have more books. I think out of all of them, the paranormal series is more likely. I feel like this one's just a series because we're following characters we followed in Not in Love that are related to them. Whereas I feel like she will have this kind of paranormal side quest going for quite some time. But I would like to at least get up to date or read the second books in both of these series. I love Ali. These are my only 2 Ali books that I need to read, I think, at the moment. I mean, she's going to come out with 10 more next year, so I will quickly become not up to date. But I love Ali. She's my favourite romance girly. So I would love to read those. And then I would also love to finish the Maid series by Nita Prose. So this is the third one, which is actually technically like 2.5. It's a Christmassy novella that I am going to be reading before the end of the year. I'm going to be reading this around Christmas time because I love reading Christmassy books around Christmas time, unless something bad happens. I always tend to get ill at Christmas, and this video gets scrapped where I read Christmassy books, but I am determined to do so. So I have this novella, and then there's one final book, I think called The Maid's Secret. So I'd like to get my hands on that and finish the series. I've enjoyed the series. I didn't love the second book as much. We'll see how I feel about this one. But I think at that point, once I've read this, I might as well just read the last book and finish the series off and see where it goes. Yes, I would like to make progress in this series as well. And then let's quickly talk about the series I would most like to start next year. Let's get into it. First is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinnerman. I was supposed to be reading this before the end of the year. I know. I'm not gonna tell you what video it's for, but it was a video that I typically do every year in November. I had to push it because I just wasn't getting enough reading done and I had to begin my Goodreads Choice Awards video. That had to happen. And so I think I'm going to be doing this video in January. So I will be reading this in January.
It's about time!
I actually read, how much of this did I read before I had to give up on the video? Maybe like 50 pages. I have read the first 50 pages of this, guys, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the first 50 pages that I read, but I had to put the video on hold. So I will be starting this in January. I can't wait to get into this series. People love this series more than anything in the world. It's Dungeon Crawler Carl in this like dungeon that he has to crawl through, and there's an alien invasion, and yeah, it's a game show. It's very cool, and Princess Donut is already an icon in this house. Princess Donut and Dida, you guys are right. One being.
You're what? I'm you.
I fear Matt Dinnerman somehow met Dida and went, I need her to star in my book. So I will be starting this. I think I said this last year, if I'm honest with you, but I really want to start Miss Marple by Agatha Christie. I think I put it off because I already have so many Poirots to read, but I want to get into Miss Marple. This is a whole different kind of vibe from Agatha, and I want to meet Miss Marple, and I want to be in this small town, and I want to get into the murder at the vicarage. So I only own this one, but I would love to begin Miss Marple, because then this is another like lifelong pursuit. I don't see myself finishing Poirots for like at least the next 10 years, if not longer. So I'm not in a rush, but I would like to like get the series number down a bit more, so I feel okay about starting a series that I'm not going to finish anytime soon. And then the last book is another one I can't find. Don't know where it is. Saw her a couple of days ago, don't know where she is now, and that is Mistborn: The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I've been saying this one for quite some time as well. It's time I read some Brandon. It's time I read some Mistborn. Everyone tells me I'm gonna love it. This is obviously such a beloved series, and I just want to see what I think of it. I want to get into some epic fantasy. What have I read from Brandon Sanderson? I feel like I read, Chest of the Emerald Sea. I loved Chest of the Emerald Sea. Didn't enjoy Skyward. Don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I read that years and years ago. Didn't enjoy Skyward. But I loved Trust the Emerald Sea, and it's made me really want to pick Mistborn up. Okay, there we have it. I have a headache. I feel like I've been speaking for that long, but it's taken it out of me. Let me know how your series reading went. Obviously, like I said, this year was a lot of not starting a lot, but also not finishing a lot, but I made progress in 15. That's actually not terrible. Yeah, let me know how your series reading has gone. I am very excited to get into all the end of year content with you guys, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon in another one. Bye!